At its core, the Dark Enlightenment is a political and philosophical movement that challenges some of the foundational ideas of modern society. The term itself was popularized by British philosopher Nick Land in the early 2010s, but the roots go deeper. The core ideas were first developed by American tech theorist Curtis Yarvin, writing under the pseudonym Mencius Moldbug, starting around 2007. Through his influential blog, Unqualified Reservations, Yarvin laid out a radical critique of democracy, liberalism, and the modern state, proposing instead a return to centralized, hierarchical governance modeled on corporate systems. Yarvin's central argument is that modern civilization, especially in the West, has been steered into stagnation and decline by a rigid, overly idealistic belief in egalitarianism and mass participation. According to this view, democracy is not the pinnacle of political evolution. It is a system that masks inefficiency, encourages manipulation, and creates the illusion of choice without any real control. Yarvin introduced the idea of Neocameralism, a political model in which a nation-state functions like a joint stock corporation, run by a CEO accountable only for performance, not popularity. In this model, the government is not elected but managed, like a business. To many, it sounds dystopian. To others, it sounds like a brutally honest assessment of how things already work behind the curtain. This worldview also gave rise to one of Yarvin's most infamous concepts, the Cathedral. In his framework, the Cathedral refers to the intertwined network of elite institutions including media, academia, and bureaucracy that shape cultural and political narratives. This system, according to Yarvin, controls society not through laws or force, but through ideology, consensus, and cultural pressure. It is not Orwell's boot stomping on a face. It is soft power that feels like truth. Nick Land, known for his cyberpunk-infused accelerationist philosophy, took Yarvin's ideas and pushed them further. Land gave the movement its name, the Dark Enlightenment. His writings injected a darker, more philosophical edge, tying these ideas to themes of post-humanism, automation, and the collapse of liberal ideals in the face of accelerating technology. Some in this school of thought advocate for exit strategies, such as private digital societies, independent city-states, or breakaway corporate enclaves where governance is optimized, not voted on. Others envision a world where technology replaces outdated institutions altogether. It is a blueprint for governance in a time of increasing distrust and systemic breakdown. But what makes the Dark Enlightenment truly unsettling is not just its ideas. It is the mirror it holds up to our current reality. It forces uncomfortable questions. Are we truly free, or are we just choosing between scripted outcomes? Are democratic leaders really accountable, or are they figureheads managed by deeper forces? And if the system is failing, what comes next? These are not conspiracy theories. They are the kinds of questions rising quietly in a culture that feels increasingly unstable. It is important to be clear. The Dark Enlightenment is not a mainstream ideology, and many of its conclusions are controversial and provocative. Critics argue it promotes authoritarianism, social stratification, and a rejection of basic civil liberties. And yet, its critiques of political stagnation, media control, and the illusion of democratic power resonate with growing numbers of people who feel the system no longer serves them. The theory is a window into a radical reimagining of power, one that suggests our current systems might not be sacred, just outdated. You do not have to agree with it, but understanding it might help you recognize where some of the world's deeper currents are pulling. Stay curious, because the future might not look like the past, and some people are already coding what comes next.